EPUB remediation of alternate text and metadata issues. In this video, we will be demonstrating how to remediate alternate text issues as well as addressing any accessibility issues within EPUB's metadata that we find within an EPUB. The first step in our EPUB remediation work will be to run ACE, the accessibility checker for EPUB by Daisy. In this demonstration, we will be running the ACE plugin for Sigil, which is a popular EPUB editing program. When we run the ACE plugin for Sigil, ACE's accessibility report appears at the bottom of the interface. By clicking on an error, we can move directly to the location where the error occurs in the EPUB. The ACE report for this EPUB tells us that there are some errors related to the metadata and alternate text. We will first address the errors that pertain to the alternate text. In this EPUB, we notice that there are images that are missing the alt attribute and that one of the images has alternate text that duplicates existing text. The first ACE error message is for an image that does not have an alt attribute. Using Sigil's book view, we can examine whether the text surrounding this image already provides useful information about the image. This observation can help us determine what the best alternate text will be for the image. We notice that this image does not provide important content in the EPUB, so it will not be necessary to add alternate text for this image. Since it is a decorative image, we will return to the code view and simply add the null alt text, where we add the alt attribute and a value of 2 quotation marks. The next ACE error message is for another image that does not have an alt attribute. With this image, we notice that the surrounding text provides some information about the image, so we will just provide a simple alternate text that labels the image that is already referenced in the surrounding text. Now that we have corrected these errors, we will run ACE again to check that the alternate text errors have been eliminated from the EPUB. We will now look at what the ACE accessibility report tells us about problems with the metadata in this EPUB. One of the problems is that the metadata is missing a title. To correct missing metadata items such as the title, language, or author, you can use Sigil's metadata editor or press F8 on your keyboard. Once we add the missing metadata in the metadata editor, the metadata will be added to the OPF or package file. The other metadata error message occurs because one of the specific accessibility metadata properties is missing. In this case, the missing property is the access mode sufficient property, which communicates whether readers can use a single type of information in the EPUB, such as the visual information or the textual information, to perceive all of the content in the EPUB. Since we have made sure to add alternate text for all of the images as well as long descriptions of the complex images, readers who are blind and are using a screen reader will be able to access all of the information in this EPUB using the textual information alone. Therefore, we can declare that the textual mode is sufficient for readers to perceive all of the content in this EPUB. To make edits to the accessibility metadata in the EPUB, we will go to the OPF document and add the missing metadata information. Since we have made some accessibility enhancements to this EPUB, we will also add a few more lines of metadata that specify the types of enhancements that we have added, such as alternate text and long descriptions. To do this, we will use the accessibility feature metadata property. Finally, we will run ACE one more time to see that we have corrected the metadata errors in this EPUB.